Hey everybody, welcome to Lounge TV. I'm Tom and Uncle Larry's not here because he's too busy watching TV apparently.
Hey, keep it down and watch TV!
Case in point. So, we're going to be making another thing that's a little bit different than usual. This isn't a meal, this is another, tis the season, the holiday season, the rest of the lyrics. So, we're baking a little something called forgotten cookies around here, but I think they're officially called meringue cookies.
I've heard them called that.
Yeah, so, either way. The reason they're called forgotten is because of the way that they are baked. But before we get into that, because that's later on, first, the ingredients. It's a very simple sort of cookie thing. So you need eggs, which I'm going to stress this now, room temperature eggs. Have to be room temperature. So don't just grab them out of the fridge and just be like, oh, they're ready to bake. No, gotta be room temperature. Why do they need to be room temperature anyway?
They fluff up more when you beat them.
Gotcha.
And by the way, we're doubling the recipe. So the recipe only calls for 2, but that's why we have 4 eggs there.
That would explain it. Because in this house we bake a lot of things. Forgotten cookies, you made a plate of fudge, have 2 other plates of fudge planned, heat bark,
Spritz cookies.
Spritz cookies, you make a ton of those.
Shortbread.
We do a lot.
Chocolate cookies with peanut butter chips.
Well, we don't need the entire thing, you're tilting.
Actually, no, I'm not. Oh, maybe I am.
I could see it, you were tilting.
Sorry. Oh. I apologize, folks. Go ahead.
Anyway, so room temperature eggs. Then we got salt and vanilla. This is vanilla, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure because almond extract is the exact same shape of bottle and there's not a label on the back. So just want to check. We got what is it? Sugar?
Plain white granulated sugar.
Yep. That. And we've got semi-sweet mini chocolate chips. We've made them with larger chocolate chips before, and we've actually found that the smaller ones just work a bit better with the cookie because when they chills more, the big chocolate chips kind of notice it more, but the smaller ones it's kind of
It's
even.
a texture thing.
It's a texture thing.
We just like it better.
We like it better.
And again, because the recipe's doubled, that's why we have 12 ounces of chocolate chips instead of 6.
Right. So with that, we're going to get to the first thing, which I actually don't remember what the first thing is, so we'll get right on that.
Well, we're going to have to separate the eggs, but we'll have
There we go.
We'll get out our bowl and get things ready to go, and then we'll start separating eggs.
I should have looked at the thing before we started this.
All right.
So one thing that I did forget to mention, you want to preheat your oven to 375. You're going to want to have that done first just to get that just done and ready. So,
good job.
Mom here, hold the camera.
Hello.
Off camera, showed me how to separate an egg. I know there's little devices to help with it. I know there's a different way necessarily to do it, but I'm going to do it the way that she told me to do it. So
I've used other things to do it, and to be honest, this seems to be the best way that I can control it.
Well, there you go. So what you're going to do is crack that egg, and you want to keep it vertical over top of one of the vessels.
And why is it that you have a separate bowl there?
Well, because you want to have the whites and the yolks separate, because apparently if you have even a little bit of yolk in with the eggs, it doesn't do anything when you actually try to whip it up. Anyway, so then you want to...
And you definitely don't want to do it into the mixing bowl when you've already got a couple of egg whites in there.
Right.
Because then you're ruining all those egg whites if you get yolk on them.
Yeah. So then you just do that and pretty easily separates it.
Good job.
Drop the yolk off and... I mean, it's already got egg white all over it anyway. You don't really have to be careful with it. Just dump that on in. Already got one in there.
Yeah. All right, 2 more to go.
You just repeat that for however many eggs you're using. If you were just doing
just a
how
single
our regular
batch.
recipe is for a single batch, then you'd already be done. We're doing a double batch, so I have 2 more to go. And we'll be back to show all the rest of the measurements and actually start the mixing right after I'm done separating the eggs. So all the eggs are in our mixing bowl right here. You can just kind of see them pooled there at the bottom.
That's it. That's what 4 egg whites looks like.
Yep. I mean, the yolks do add a lot of volume to it, which, you can save the yolks, add them scrambled eggs, cook them up, or just, you have a pet, I'm sure they'll eat it. We're probably just going to wind up getting rid of them because,
Right.
Bit of a waste, but what are you going to do?
We have more where those came from.
Exactly. A lot more. So, we got half a teaspoon of salt. in which you're going to be adding that immediately to the egg whites.
There it is.
Now what you're going to want to look for, normally we would like to give a sort of like a time frame for this, like, oh, it's going to take 30 seconds, it's going to take 2 minutes. We're not entirely sure exactly how this is going to work with the whipping attachment here. So, because especially considering like every piece of equipment is going to be different. If you're using a hand mixer, it's going to be different. If you're doing it by hand, maybe don't.
God help you. It'll take a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be done.
So just because of how variable it is, depending on like what you've got, etc., it's hard to give an accurate like it's going to take this long.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're going to want to do is just have it go until you see stiff peaks.
Mm-hmm. And we'll show you what that looks like.
That we will. So let's get this going, set that down, and I was told that it's supposed to go all the way up to max, but obviously you don't just slam it all the way up to maximum right away. That looks to be the fastest it goes. I think. I lied. Now it's as fast. Of course, it's kind of shaking the entire counter, so I don't know what you're gonna do about that. And yeah, like I said, you just gotta wait until it reaches stiff peaks, which we will show you once it gets there. It's reached the right consistency. Oh, I don't have to yell anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So then when you flip it up, it's going to actually just kind of stay at the bottom. I kind of expected it to go up the whole way with it. So you can kind of see, like, if I sort of move it like that, how it it's definitely stiff.
Yep, stays put.
Yep, so
Stiff peaks.
we are pretty much right where we want to go with that. So next up we'll be adding in the sugar, which is about 1.5 cups, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, 1.5 cups of sugar.
And after the sugar will be 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
And if it was a single recipe, it'd be 3/4 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon of vanilla.
So the sugar goes in gradually.
Sugar goes in gradually.
All right, so
This is a learning experience for me. I've not used this thing. I've not made this recipe before.
look at you learning all the things.
So,
All right, so before you tip that back down, pour about 1/3 of the sugar in.
right, which I guess
Doesn't have to be precise.
eyeball that. Just dump that on in, and
That's fine.
good enough.
And then turn your beaters back on high.
So I just let it go for a bit and then dump in, or dump in while it's going.
You can dump in while it's going.
Well, there you go. Makes it even easier. You don't need to keep doing steps okay, back and all that.
This mixer can be a little challenging with the dumping sometimes, but it looks like it's going on.
I don't know how gradually it needs to be, so it's just 1/3 at a time.
Yeah.
I saw a nod, so yeah, I guess it's
Yeah.
1/3 at a time.
Yeah.
So. That might have been 1/4.
Yeah, because you still have a cup of sugar left there.
It's not a full cup. It's
All right, put more in.
And the next one, I'll just dump the rest of it.
Okay. So it should be starting to look a little glossy.
Yes, it is.
All right, perfect.
And now that's it. We can.
Actually, stop it. And lift it up. You want to scrape down the sides
That makes sense.
just to make sure everything's got the sugar bead in there. And you can see you still have a stiff peak down there.
Yep, right there.
But it's now looking very glossy.
Yep. So you just want to scrape the sides and kind of incorporate that in.
Yep, just make sure that you don't have any, egg white in the bottom that doesn't have sugar mixed in it. Yeah, it gets a little messy sometimes. It's okay.
It's awkward trying to go over
Yeah.
with this, and it's kind of sticking to the spatula a little bit.
Yeah, you keep brushing up against the whisk there. That's okay. All right, good job.
Yeah, okay.
You can either put it in the sink or put it on a paper towel.
I'll put it on a paper towel because I don't know Because we're going to be needing to use this, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, so I'm going to put it in the sink.
We would just have to get a clean one at that point.
Right, and that just takes up space in the dishwasher.
Right.
Or if you have to wash things by hand, it just...
Takes up time.
Yeah. So why do that when you can just set it down and use it later? Anyway,
Right.
so I'm actually going to want to set this back down. Maybe not start it yet.
No, put the vanilla in.
Just all the vanilla just in right now?
Yep.
Alright, well, let's split that back up again because it's easier to have that up.
Okay.
At least I think so. I might be wrong on this. But anyway, it is 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Yep, just double check, always make sure that it is exactly what you think it is. You don't
Yep.
want to, like, oh, whoops, that's all.
Peppermint would be interesting in this because you've got the chocolate chips, so you'd have like a mint chocolate chip thing going on.
That actually would be pretty good.
Yeah. I don't think almond would be too good. And you can get clear vanilla. You can, but it's more expensive, I think. So this is going to turn the egg whites slightly off-white. If you want them pure white, then I would recommend getting clear vanilla.
Right.
You don't have to turn that all the way back up. Now, when you turn it on to mix the vanilla in, you just want to
what would you say?
mix the vanilla
about
in.
half?
Yeah, about halfway. And then look at it to watch the vanilla, make sure the vanilla goes in.
You can really smell the vanilla.
Yeah.
Alright, it looks like most of it's in.
Okay. So you can mix the rest in by hand when you mix the chocolate chips in.
Yep.
Lift it up. All right. Do you know how to take the?
Take the bowl out?
Well, you want to take the attachment off.
The attachment off, no. I can't get the bowl out though.
All right. Here, you take the camera.
Alright. I mean, probably good for me to know it, so better tell me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Well. You know how to take the bowl off, though.
Yes.
Okay, you can do it.
Because I'm just gotta find the right way to do it.
There we go. Yep.
Oh, that's why a standing mixer is very nice.
And this is what we've got at this point.
Yep, so
Nice
it's
turn.
getting there.
Yep. Okay, so dump
got
your
to
bag of
mix this
chocolate
around.
chips in.
Yep, we just dump the whole thing in, not even like...
Nope,
incremental.
just dump.
Alright, so just once again, this is the entire bag, which comes out to 10 ounces? No, that's... I can't...
It's either 10 or 12.
Yeah, it's 10 then.
Either one would work.
10, 12, close enough.
With the mini chips, it spreads them around a little more, so 10 ounces is fine.
Yep.
Now, I would suggest maybe wiping off the end of your spatula before you use that. The part where you hold and it's all sticky.
Well, yes, that would make sense now, wouldn't it? There.
And then you just gently fold the chocolate chips in.
Yep. Just until it's just nice and even. You can make sure that you kind of...
And you don't want to deflate your egg whites, so that's why you fold gently.
Right. So I'm just kind of get some at the top there and... See, it is quite mixed together.
Looks good.
It's still pretty fluffy at that.
Good. And you still have nice stiff peaks, and that's good too.
Yep. You can kind of measure that out, but well, I guess it's not.
Well,
stiff,
they're usually not as much because we've added vanilla and we've added sugar,
right.
so they're not as much as they were, and they're not supposed to be.
Which makes enough sense,
Right.
at least to me.
And we're almost done. All we do now is we put it on the cookie sheet and put it in the oven and turn the oven off.
Right, which you're just going to want to have cookie sheets with foil on them, and what do we got for that? Butter spray.
Yeah. You need to grease your cookie sheets because there's no butter or anything or shortening in the batter.
Yeah.
So the cookies will stick.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to grease the cookie sheets. We use butter spray. You can use regular butter or whatever.
Right, there's options. Point is, you want to grease the pans.
I don't know that I would use olive oil. That might just not
Probably
taste right.
not.
Yeah. Anyway.
So maybe you don't have that many options, but there's still options.
Right.
And we'll get right to putting these onto the trays. Now we get to the part of actually forming the cookies onto the tray. So all that really is just kind of taking a clump of it, keeping it together with another spoon, and dropping it onto your tray. You want them kind of roughly about that size, if I'm not mistaken. And the nice thing about these sorts of cookies, we can bring it up, thank you, is that they don't really spread while they're in the oven. Like chocolate chip cookies, depending on exactly how you make them, sometimes go from like a clump to like just completely flat, so you need to space them out. These don't really do that. Like they might puff up a little bit, but not really all that much. What you get is pretty much what you see here.
Right, they're pretty much
Which
just
you can't
puff.
see it right now because it's not being showed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What you see is what you get, basically.
So we'll probably end up with 4 across this way and maybe 5 down that way. So 20 on this.
6.
Well, yeah, maybe. So, and what I was saying before was what you don't get in the oven on this round, you can't
Yes.
save. So everything
Right,
has to
so
go in the oven.
What you make has to get cooked.
And we'll
So-
show you our completed trays before they go in the oven so you can see how much it does.
That we will. This is gonna take a little bit.
Okay. You're going to keep doing that?
Well, yes.
You want me to help?
Please.
All right. I guess I can do that.
Oh, you guess you can? Well.
Oh, now?
No, after the cookies are already all on the tray. Yes, now.
Okay.
So here we've got the cookies all doled out. You can probably tell which ones I did and which ones my lovely assistant did. Or maybe not. Because you can't tell the 24 here were mine and the 20 on the other two are what she did. She managed to finish an entire sheet before I even realized. So it was just, I look over, I was like, hey, wait a minute, you still got room on yours. Wait, why is your sheet bigger? And then it was just,
Yeah.
she said, there's just one already over there. It's like, oh,
I'm just
I already got
faster.
pointed out that quick.
I'm just faster.
Ah,
Aren't my cookies done yet?
not until tomorrow.
Jeez.
You've got a ways to wait, hon.
So the reason that they're called forgotten cookies, well, I'll explain that once I have to get these in. So what we want to do is we want to arrange these for good airflow in the
What are
oven.
they called
So,
again?
forgotten cookies.
Ah, I forgot.
Or meringue cookies.
Really?
Anyway, if I can get back to actually, you know,
Yes,
cooking
yes,
the
please
things.
do, please do.
So you got these oven up to 375. That's all good. Get this open. This in horizontally.
Push it back a little further once. You're letting all the heat out.
I'm trying not to.
Okay.
And then those in vertically. Close that, then you want to let it get back up to temperature, so just wait a bit. So the reason that they're called forgotten cookies is because what you're going to do is once you know it's back up to temperature, or at least it's close, which I am hoping that you'll let me know when it's about that, because I have no idea what the indicator
So
is.
you'll see the light go off on the oven.
There's a little light there.
The little light right there.
That was on before we even opened the oven.
It was, but then did you hear it click?
I did not hear it click.
Right, okay, that click was when it kicked the oven back in, and it will click again when the oven's ready to turn off.
Well, there we go. Your oven might be different. You're tilting it.
Okay. Doesn't look like it to me, but all right.
I noticed it.
Okay.
Definitely was.
All right.
So your oven might be different. All of you out there. So this is gonna sound a bit more harsh than I intended, but figure it out.
There's actually a learning curve that comes with these cookies because sometimes they come out drier, sometimes they come out a little chewier. It all depends on your oven, and there's a lot of trial and error involved. So
Right.
I've been baking these cookies for 30 some years, and you know.
Right. So
I still
she's got
have-
it down pat. This is literally the first time I've made these.
Right.
So I don't have it down pat yet.
Right.
Someday. Maybe I'll get it perfect on the first try.
Maybe.
We'll find out.
Right.
So the reason that they call forgotten cookies while we wait for the oven to click off is because once you get them in, you are to turn the oven off and then leave them go overnight. Is there like a specific, like, it's supposed to be like X amount of hours, or is it just
Well, it's still the
literally-
oven cools down. So, I
There you
mean,
go.
realistically, I have done it where I've just, taken them out of the oven after 4 hours because the oven's cooled off.
Right.
But it's kind of just easier to, to do it in the evening, put them in the oven, turn the oven off, and go to bed. And then you have cookies in the morning.
Yep. They're just done. It's not like they're going to spoil or anything. They're just there. They're ready.
And just don't forget about them and like turn your oven on to do something else in the morning.
Right, don't double forget. You're allowed to forget about them once. You can't forget about them twice.
Right.
So, yeah.
And
If this thing would finally actually...
It's still going. It hasn't clicked off yet. It's easy because it's a gas oven. We can usually hear the gas shut off.
Right.
There, the light went off. That's good enough.
Good enough. All right. It stopped. And
So the oven is now
off.
preheated. It'll turn off in a minute. And
in which case, then we can forget it. I
it.
would do a certain accent with it, but somebody doesn't like it when I do that, so I'm sorry I can't be funny.
Anyway. Yeah.
So
Time to clean up.
So yeah, in the meantime, clean up and then have yourself a nice sleep, and we'll see you in the morning when the cookies are ready.
And we'll show you how they look.
And good morning. It is now the next day. The cookies are done. I know it's a little past morning. I don't want to hear it. Because I know you're dying to say it.
Who, me?
Stanley, go over this way. You're going to get too much backlight.
Oh, okay.
She's still a little new at this, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Figuring it out.
I'm learning.
Anyway, so, an important thing that I'm not sure if I mentioned, so I'm going to say it again. When the cookies are in and the oven turns off, no peeking. You can't open the oven to look. If you have like a window in front, like a light, you can do that.
Ah, there's cookies in there.
But that's the extent of it. You can't open the oven and look. You got to keep that heat in there, convection and thermodynamics and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You let any of that out, heat balances off. You might as well just hope or toss. That's your options.
There you go.
But we didn't do that, so you should be nice and good. Ooh, look at that.
Nice looking cookies.
Nice and fluffy. Some of them were a little close together, but that's fine.
And that was actually my tray too.
It was.
Wonder what your tray looks like.
That's a good question. So just get these one out. Oh yeah, mine are a little close.
All right, that's Tom's tray. That's my tray. Tom's tray looks like biscuits.
Yeah, but they also
you know
look
what? You
dang
don't even
good.
need pot holders.
Nope. No pot holders needed because everything's all already nice and cool. So there you have it. Those are the traditional forgotten cookies that we make pretty much every year. And by we, I mean she usually does. This is the first time I made them, and hey,
You did a good job there,
they
kiddo.
look pretty good. Let's see, are there any that are like... Yeah, this one looks... I know it's off of your tray, but you gotta taste them.
Of course.
Sometimes the chocolate chips will fall out. That's fine. I'll pick it up later.
All right then.
But they're light and airy, very fluffy, delicious, nice and sweet.
A little bit of chocolate.
A little bit of chocolate, like just the right amount of chocolate. I think that I did a pretty good job.
I think you did too.
And on that note, I'll just leave that over there. Till next time. I like tried to say all three of the bits at once, and that wasn't going to work. Grab yourself something cold to drink, put your feet up and relax, and we'll meet you at the lounge. Dude.
It's pretty tasty.
Thank you, but really? Well, you're too good to actually help out, and you just come out and just loot all our
goodness.
cookies? You loot our cookies!
There's only half a tray left.
Wait, too good to be in the videos anymore? Come on.
I don't want to talk with my mouth full.